A Midsummer Foy. Illustrations by Baloo Ballili. Words by Janice Armstrong. A Sew & Co production. I, Vela, have a tale to tell. Turn the pages and listen well. John Ross, Ingrid, Magnus and me went fishing out on a silky sea. Down went the lines to the liquid black, and up came mackerel, haddock and brill, and the basket filled, and the water licked the cup and curve of our boat. So we never saw the fog gliding over the milky sea. Without a sound it wrapped us round, and I shivered and reached for Ingrid's hand. Then Magnus spoke. The sea is breathing, and suddenly dorsal fins like black scythes sliced the water. Our boat rocked as the giants tumbled round, but wood is no food for a whale, so they passed and were lost in the sound. At last we saw a smudge of darker grey and made our way to land. Safely tied, we spied a path, and up we climbed. But something moved and breathed close by. Something tickled my spine. I held my breath. My ears throbbed. I strained to hear a sound, only the drift of the mist. So I turned to carry on. Ingrid, Magnus, John Ross. But my voice fell flat in the fog. I stumbled over stones and splashed in mud. A whinny, thud, a clap and flap of wings. Shadows formed, then drained to white again. Magnus, Ingrid, John Ross, I called and called again. And then, at last, a muffled voice. Vela, this way! See what we have found! I followed the voices through the gloom and found them by a massive wall of stone. Our fingers trailed the cold, damp walls until we reached two heavy wooden doors. Together we pushed and entered a massive hall. Inside was dark and cool. We paused and blinked. Shapes melted out of shadows. Antlers fingered the air. Swords and guns bristled above a coat of arms. A tiger skin, a monkey carved in stone with ghastly grin. Then, with ear-splitting din, John Ross tumbled into a suit of armour. Crash, bang, clang, the whole shebang came tumbling down. Then a bark, a voice outside. Hide! We dived under the table. Oh no, oh please! I squeezed myself small to nothing at all. First came a dog, tongue lolling, then hairy boots, a flowery skirt, and a woman's voice calling, You clumsy dog, come here at once. I'll turn you into doggy chunks. Huddled close, we heard of a knife being sharpened, chopping, banging, pans rattling, a voice humming. Be still, my hairy friend, the lilting voice commanded, and a knife came thudding down. I cried aloud, and tears rolled down my cheeks, when suddenly I felt a warm, wet tongue lick them clean. A face appeared, bright and curious. What have we here? More stew for the pot? The game was up. We all crawled out and followed her into a kitchen, bright and warm. She cut some cake and put the kettle on. Her name was Olga, and as we told our tale, she licked her fingers, smiled and said, With all this fog, you'll have to stay. Tonight it is the summer foy. I have a banquet to prepare. There's lots to do, so roll your sleeves up. You can help too. Into a truck we scrambled and bounced a bumpy road to the pigs. Slip slop, my little sausages, she called, and poured a rich broth of peelings and cuttings into their trough. Then to the hens, who eyed us suspiciously as we gathered their eggs. On to the garden we trooped, and in showers of peaty earth we pulled carrots and beetroot up to the light. Baskets of berries spilled into hungry mouths, and warm in the sun, red-lipped and purple-tongued, I began to doze. Back in the kitchen, among the steaming pans, we filleted and boned, fish scales on hot cheeks, silver on our hands. Olga tied an apron round my waist, and I began to bake floury bannocks and chocolate cake, while she made sausages, string after string. A family recipe, she said, with a grin. Soon the hall began to fill with rich and lovely smells. Roast chicken and raspberry fool, pig on a spit, guacamole, summer berries and honey cakes, lamb kebabs and sirloin steaks, toffee apples, crispy strudel, blueberry tart, and black squid noodle. Then over the hill, in the soft summer sun, music drifted, a horse and cart rumbled, acrobats tumbled, women twirling, skirts burling, all the colours of summer. Olga ran out to welcome them in, and soon the hall filled with the merriest din. Jugs of sweet juices, our cups overflowed, speeches were made, stories were told, and the food. Oh, the food never ended, dish after dish, from lemon meringue to our succulent fish. Then fiddles flew in a frenzy of sound, lifting our feet to dance, quadrilles and lancers, under the midnight sun. And John Ross, Ingrid, Magnus and me joined the ring, and the skylark vied with the violin, and in the centre of us all, Olga, in shining dress, blue like a summer sea, twirled and spun, laughed and sang. When they left, I do not know, but slowly I lifted leg after leg and climbed yawning into a canopied bed, garlanded drapes falling around my head. Olga tucked me in and said, "Sweet dreams, little sausage." I dreamed of whales in party hats, of pigs playing fiddles and acrobats. Then swirling fog wrapped me round, and I woke with a start to the smell of bacon grilling down below, my mother calling, the radio. Shaking the dreams from my tousled head, I rose from my bed and smiled.